Hello, Tab Nation, it's your boy Tom, and today we're going to be doing some JavaScript. I did a Chrome extension for AutoHotkey, which should be released soon at the time of this video, if not already. Had some issues there with them kind of denying one of the permissions I had. I had to fix that up, so it's in review, but as soon as it's done, which is like 4 or 5 days, it's going live. So hopefully at the time of this video, but there'll be an announcement video. Anywho. Today we're going to be doing a JavaScript, how to save, like information so that it can be used later, so variables, cookies, that kind of thing. But it's using local storage in your Chrome browser, and we're going to be using my Chrome extension example because I already have it working, so why not? And it shows it off. You guys have spoken in a poll that I asked if you guys want me to branch out from time to time. I figured maybe possibly twice a month I might release a video having to do with kind of automation typey stuff in other languages. So yeah, if you like this one, JavaScript, thumbs up. If you like any Python videos I do, thumbs up. Lets me know which types of languages you're more interested in, that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. So let's go ahead and jump into that code. Enough of my ranting. Let's see, where is it? Here we are. So, just to show you real quick what I got, we got our extension up here. Now, as you see, it has V2 checked here, but let's check V1. Let's close out. Let's open it up. Boom, it's back to V1, V2, close, open up, V2. Now, it saved it. Now, I can also sit here, open another page, and currently, I'm in V2. So, if I do like toggle if and push display, it's giving me the V2 code. Now let's go back here and select V1 and push display again. And boom, you saw it changed it, right? That's because it's saving that data there, but using it in other places. So why do we want to do that is that reason. But how do we do it? Well, here's how. So in the JavaScript file I have right here, when we launch it, I want the correct radio button to be chosen. So the first thing we need to do is get that information that is stored. So we're going to do let the mode and the ME mode. Not sure why I used that, but okay. That's my variable name. So equals. Now we got to grab it. So we're going to go into our local storage of Chrome. We're going to get item. And then just in parentheses here with quotations, whatever you had originally saved, which we'll see later on, which is basically I'm just grabbing the same, storing it in the same, keep it simple. If you need to change it up, go ahead. So it's going to grab that data. Now we want to do something with that data. So right here, this is theme mode, not the theme mode. If theme mode equals, that means matches 1, we're going to change our documentation styles here. So we're going to change the color and the background, and that's just going to change it to dark mode. So if not, then it's just going to do whatever. Now the default is. Now we're also doing another one here. This is the version picker. That's the one I just showed you. Same thing, local storage get, but we're using this one, variable pick. We're just going to store it as var pick again. And if it equals 2, let version equal v2. And then check that box. So version check equals true. So it's going to check v2. So that's why it automatically goes to v2. But as you see, I don't have an if for 1 because that is the default. So we don't really need an if for that because it's just going to default to 1. So yeah, that's how that's working. So let's go ahead and find that. Now, when I actually click, we're creating an event listener. So that's what this is, document.getElementById, v1. That's the name of it, the ID for it. And then we're doing add event listener. So whenever I click on it, it's going to jump to this function right here. And that's what this is right here. It's saying where to go. So it's going to jump to the version 1 function. It's going to change the var pick to 1. And now we need to save it. So that's pretty easy. You're just doing local storage, pretty much mostly the same as up there, but a little different, obviously. And we're going to do set item instead of get item. So we're doing set item. What are we going to call it? Well, we're calling it verpic. And then we're going to close this all in parentheses and quotations. So quotations here, that is the name of it, comma, and then in quotations, what is the data we're saving? Now, it doesn't have to be a number. It can be, like A, B, C, or it could be dark mode or version 1. I could put, the whole thing out there saying version 1 or version 2. But that's fine. We're just going to keep it as a simple 1. And as you see down here, we're doing 2 because that makes sense. Version 1, version 2. And just make sure you put your semicolon at the end so it knows that. And then a return, close out our function. As you see down here for version 2, it's the exact same thing, because we're using the same variable here. We don't want to create tons of data for no reason. So that's just going to create lots of problems later with ifs and more ifs that you don't need and that kind of thing. And it's just going to do 2. So it's going to basically wipe this in the local storage clean and replace it with the 2. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, this is all happening on one page. If I go to that one page, the main page, where it's going to want to look for what type of code is being used, now as you see up here, we're doing the same thing where we need to get data to make sure we're in dark mode, light mode, that kind of stuff. So even though the JavaScript is being written here, where we're actually saving it to the storage, it can be called from anywhere within your Chrome extension or application. So even though I'm not doing a write here or set item, we are still able to grab that data, which is great. I can just have a place where I have like my settings, and it's going to be used across the whole board, which is great. Now that main page, that's this one. Yeah. So, up here we're grabbing it, but then we want to actually use it, which, oh yeah, you can see here. So if the person code chose option 3, if version pick equals 2, here's the version 2 code. Else if version equals 1, here's the version 1 code. This is a bad example because it's exactly the same pretty much. But yeah. So yeah, and you can put this anywhere in your JavaScript. It's obviously here being displayed in the radio buttons here in the HTML, but it's the JavaScript that's manipulating the HTML. But by default, that is going to be 1. So that's why we have that if up here as only somewhere, as only needing 1 for each, because it's just going to go with the default. All right. Hope that was enough of an explanation. Very simple. There's a lot more you can do, but that's just a basic intro. One thing to keep in mind is with something simple like this, you do not need the permissions of storage. That's a completely different thing. So a lot of people do put this here. If you try to do that, you're going to have issues in Chrome because they're going to be like, why do you need this permission? You're not using it. And that's because that permission's for something else. Local storage it's going to work without permissions. So that's something to point out to you all. All right, if you guys have any questions, want me to expand on this, there are different types of storage. There's not just local storage. I can do separate videos on each type of storage. So yeah, let me know. All right, guys. See you all, hopefully on the next one.